Today I'm gonna give you the 5 best assault rifles right now here after the update. And if any of these help you out, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Now let's hop right into them. The first gun on the list we have is the Kastov 545. So start with the first attachment, we're rocking this a 60 round magazine. There's a preference if you guys wanna rock, it's a 45. All depends on your bullets and of course your ADS speed. Coming out for the underbarrel, I'm rocking this the Ripper 56, which actually does help with your aim and stability, your hip fire accuracy, and your recoil stabilization. This is a really good underbarrel for all your assault rifles. Coming out for the tuning for this, I got aim and stability and recoil stabilization, both for tuned for maxed out. Coming out for the muzzle, I'm rocking the Harbinger D20, tuned for bullet velocity and recoil smoothness, both is tuned for maxed out. Coming out for the barrel, I'm rocking the Kastov 406. I do know that the IGK30 is another good choice. Just test out on both of these barrels. There's really no difference. Of course, it all depends for the stats. But for my tuning for this, I got damage range and recoil steadiness, both for tuned from maxed out. And the color is coming out for the final attachment for my optic scope. The AMO PV4 is going to be the best choice for my tuning for this. I got eye position for far and flinch resistant. If you guys are rocking an assault rifle, eye position for far is going to be the best choice no matter what. The second gun on the list we have is the Tempest Razorback. Now for the start with the first attachment, I'm rocking this a 60 round magazine. Ammunition, rocking this is high velocity helped up with bullet velocity. For this one, the tuning for this, you have to max out your bullet velocity and your damage range maxed out. You should, like I'm telling you, high velocity and hollow points, which I did make a top 5 loadouts a couple days ago. If you guys want to go check that out, link will be in the description below, where I tell y'all, man, for the ammunitions, you should always max out your tuning for all your ammunition types. Now, coming out for the underbarrel, I'm rocking the Proto Grip, which actually does help us with your aim and stability, your horizontal recoil control, and your recoil stabilization. This underbarrel is only available for the Tempest Razorback. Now, for the tuning for this, I got both tuned for maxed out for recoil stabilization and my aim and stability. Coming out for the muzzle, I do feel like that there's really no point of a suppressor for the Tempest Razorback. It feels a little bit weak, but whenever you do as like a regular like muzzle, that helps up with your horizontal and your vertical recoil control. I feel like it does a little bit more damage than what it's supposed to, and of course that range, it makes it where it's so steady that you don't gotta move your controller as much. Now for the tune for this, I got recoil control and recoil stabilization, both for tune for max out as well. Coming out for the barrel, I am rocking this the 18 TAC 2L, where actually this helps with your damage range, your hip fire accuracy, your bullet velocity, and actually helps out with your movement speed as well. I know a lot of people are gonna say, why not the Tank BR? This is gonna be another good choice, but I feel like the damage range, especially for the Tempest Razorback, at a somewhat of a range, it does take a little bit more bullets to try to kill someone, so the damage range with this barrel helps out a lot. Now for the tuning for this one, I got damage range and recoil steadiness, both for max out. The next gun on the list we have is the ISO Hemlock. So start with the first attachment, rocking as a 45 round magazine. Underbarrel, rocking the Ripper 56, same tuning as before, aim and stability, recoil stabilization. For my muzzle, Harbinger D20, same thing for the tuning, bullet velocity, recoil smoothness. Barrel, now actually this is going to be a very helpful one. The Filler T50 is going to be the best choice for the ISO Hemlock. For any of your other reasons, you should not. Now, if you guys actually don't have this barrel unlocked, you guys should rock as the LR3056. This actually does feel like the Filler T50, but of course you are removing is your recoil control at range. Now, of course, for the tuning for this one, I have my damage range as a 0.22 and my recoil steadiness. Now, I know before, all my tunings was maxed out with the barrels, but this one you should always have your tuning for the barrel as 0.22. I really don't feel like maxing your damage range out for this one matters. It still feel like it hits the same even if my tuning was on default. So just to let you guys know. Optic scope for the final attachment, I'm rocking the Recharge DX. I do feel like this is another good optic choice if you guys do not like the AMO PV4. Now for my tuning for this one, I have my eye position for far. Like I said, for all my assault rifles, eye position should always be on far. It should never be up close. And of course, my tuning for this, I got my aiming on sight speed. Now, for the ISO Hemlock, it has a low recoil, so you really need to prioritize more of your ADS speed and not more of your flinch resistance. The next gun on the list we have is the M13B. So starting with the first attachment, we're rocking this 60 round magazine. For my underbarrel, I'm rocking this Ripper 56, tuning for aim and eye stability and recoil stabilization. For my muzzle, I'm actually rocking this the Echoless 80. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say, why are you not rocking the Harbinger D20? I do feel like the Echoless 80 is a really good suppressor for this one. All these suppressors basically just do the same thing. There's really no difference. Even if you guys want to rock as like the Gauss 9 Mono, which is like the monolithic suppressor from 2019 Modern Warfare, all these suppressors does basically the same. Now, coming out for the tuning for this, I got bullet velocity and recoil smoothness as maxed out. For my barrel, I'm actually rocking this the 14 Braun Echelon, where I see this helps us with your damage range, your bullet velocity, your recoil control, and your hipfire accuracy. Basically, it's like the filler T50 from the ISO Hemlock. Now for the tuning for this, I got damage range and recoil steadiness as maxed out, and of course my final attachment, as before, rocking the Recharge DX, eye position for far, and my aim and sight speed as maxed out. The next gun on the list we have is the M4. So start with the first attachment, rocking the 60 round magazine, same attachments as before, Ripper 56 for my underbarrel, aim and stability, recoil stabilization, muzzle, second thread 40, tuned for recoil control and recoil stabilization. Coming out for the barrel, the high tower is going to be the best barrel for the M4. There are some other good choices like the 419mm extended barrel. For my tuning for this, I got damage range and recoil steadiness both for tuned for maxed out. And of course, my final attachment, I'm rocking the Lone Wolf Optiscope. Now, if you guys actually don't know about this one actually has like a blue dot reticle that I don't know which from any of the bundles that you guys can actually cop it from. But for the eye position should be on far, and my flip resistance should be as maxed out. This is another good optic choice, but if you guys actually have that blue dot reticle, it's going to be the best one. Another good gun on the list is the Lachmann 556. Now this one I like to call it the Graw, and the reason I like to call it the Graw is because of the whole recoil control, the good damage at range, and just how overall good the gun is. So start with the first attachment, rocking the 15.9 Lachmann Rat Barrel, which actually does have its recoil control, your bullet velocity, your damage range, and your hipfire accuracy. There really isn't no other good one besides the Lachmann Nova, but I do feel like that the 15.9 barrel is going to be the best choice. Now for the tuning for this, I got damage range and recoil steadiness. Now coming out for the other attachments are basically still the same. Harbinger D20s, same for the tuning, bullet velocity, recoil smoothness, Ripper 56, aim and stability, recoil stabilization, and of course the biggest magazine for this gun is a 60 round mag. Now if you guys actually want to rock as a 40 round, this is up to you, but I do feel like the 60 is going to be the best choice, especially for Warzone. Same thing with the Optiscope, MLPV4, tuned for eye position for far, and aim it on sight speed. Last gun on the list we have is the Kastov 762. Starting with the first attachment, rocking a 40 round magazine, underbarrel rocking the Ripper 56, tuning for aim and stability and recoil stabilization. For my muzzle, same thing as before with the second thread 40, recoil control and recoil stabilization that's maxed out. My barrel, I'm actually rocking this the Cast 10. Now, if you guys actually want the tunings for this one, I'm gonna explain this. Now, I actually do have my damage range and recoil steadiness as maxed out. But if you guys actually don't like this barrel, and if you guys want to swap it out, you guys can swap it out for, like I said before, the IGK30. This is another good barrel, or the Cast 7. But I do feel like the Cast 10 is going to be the best choice for any of your long range fights. And because of this one, the pros for this actually helps out. The same thing helps out for the Cast 7, but that recoil control it actually takes away, and it takes away your damage range. Now the IGK30 is a really good one, but there's no damage range as well. So I really feel like for any of your assault rifles, the Cast 10 is going to be the best choice. And coming out for the final attachment, as always, the AIM-OP V4 is going to be the best one for this one. You guys can rock as the Recharge DX, but I feel like the AIM-OP is going to be the best one. Aiming on sight speed is for tune, and my eye position for far. Now I do know with the Kastov recoil control, it does have like a little bit more kick to it, but I actually mastered the recoil control at range for this one, so I prioritize more my aim down sight speed. If you guys actually don't know how to control the recoil for it, just max out for flip resistance. And that's all the loadouts for the best assault rifles. If you guys want to see a best SMGs, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.